We live in a world that is just obsessed with being heard, right? Everyone's trying to shout over everyone else. But what if? What if the real power actually lies in what you don't say? We're about to explore a pretty counterintuitive idea here, that true influence, real control, doesn't come from shouting, it comes from strategic silence. So, let's get into it.
I mean, we've all seen this play out, haven't we? In a meeting, at a family dinner, the loudest person just sucks up all the oxygen in the room. They command the spotlight. And we're totally conditioned to think that attention equals influence. But this quote, this one challenges that entire idea. It's suggesting that maybe, just maybe, we're completely misunderstanding what real power looks and sounds like.
And I get it. That sounds like it goes against everything we've ever been taught, doesn't it? How on earth can saying nothing be more powerful than making your case, than fighting your corner? Well, that is the exact mystery we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, first things first. We have to completely dismantle this common misconception I like to call the loudness illusion. It's this really simple but incredibly powerful mistake we all make, confusing the person getting all the attention with the person who's actually in control. They are not the same thing.
So let's break this down. Look at the loud person. They're often just operating on pure impulse. They're driven by this immediate emotional need to react, to defend, to win the point right then and there. And all that emotion, it just clouds their judgment. Really, they're looking for validation, so they end up showing their entire hand. But the silent strategist, oh, they are playing a completely different game. They use that quiet space to let the emotional noise just die down. It gives them the room to observe, to respond logically, and to gather information, all while keeping their own cards held very, very close to their chest.
So, if being loud isn't where the real power is, then what is? Well, this brings us to the core idea of this whole explainer. We have to completely reframe how we think about silence. It's not a weakness, it's not passive, it is a deliberate and incredibly powerful strategy.
And this is the absolute key takeaway. You have to get this. Silence is not a lack of a response, it is the response. When you make a conscious choice to be quiet, you're making an active, calculated move. It communicates control, it communicates confidence and thoughtfulness. And trust me, it can completely flip the dynamic of any interaction you're in. So how does this actually work on a psychological level? Well, it all starts with a concept called the detachment response. This is really the engine behind quiet control.
Just think about it for a second. When someone's trying to get under your skin or provoke you or manipulate you, what are they looking for? A reaction. Your anger, your defensiveness, that is their fuel. The detachment response basically starves them of that fuel. Your silence sends a crystal clear, powerful message that says, whatever you're doing, it's not working on me.
So here's how it plays out in the real world. Step 1, a coworker makes one of those passive-aggressive comments. We've all been there. Step 2, instead of snapping back, which is what your gut tells you to do, you just pause. You make eye contact and you say nothing. So what happens next? That's step 3. The silence becomes so uncomfortable for them. They're the ones who are forced to sit there and stew in their own words to confront their own intentions. And a lot of the time, they end up backtracking or revealing what they were really up to. See? You didn't just win the moment, you fundamentally reset the entire power balance.
But look, using this kind of strategic silence, it isn't easy. It takes a very specific mental skill. It's kind of like a superpower for the quiet strategist. This is the engine that really drives the whole approach.
And what is that secret weapon? It's called cognitive restraint. It's really just the ability to hit the pause button on your impulse to react immediately. It's the discipline to stop, to think, and to observe before you even open your mouth.
And by practicing this cognitive restraint, you give yourself these incredible advantages. Suddenly, you have time to actually process what's happening, not just have a knee-jerk reaction to it. You create space to watch how other people are reacting, which gives you more data. This is what allows you to think 3 steps ahead, not just 1. And maybe most importantly, it helps you avoid those costly emotional mistakes that, you just can't take back. You're basically telling your brain's emotional side to take a seat and letting your more logical, strategic mind take the wheel.
Okay, so we've broken down all the theory. Now for the important part. How do you actually use this stuff? Let's bring it all together with the key takeaways you can start using, like today.
So, first you've got to change your mindset. See silence as a tool, an active strategy in your toolbox, not just a passive state of being. Second, the next time you feel provoked, try the detachment response. Just pause. See what happens. And third, practice cognitive restraint in all parts of your life. Before you fire off that angry email, before you jump into a tense conversation, just take a breath and think.
So I'll leave you with this thought. Power isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being the most in control. And that control almost always begins with mastering silence. So the next time you're in a conversation and you feel that pressure to just fill the void, ask yourself this one simple question. What could I gain right now by staying quiet? Thanks for joining me for this explainer.